Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to show you how to get rid of metallic sounds on some piano notes. So sometimes when you have a new piano, then after playing it a lot, then you get a metallic sound, typically around these arches here and these arches, and that's because these are transitionings, and at these transitionings you typically have metallic sounds, resonances coming up. And it could be that these notes sound a bit louder than these notes. So what you need to do is to soften the sound. And you do this by voicing the hammers of a piano. So these are the hammers, and we need to soften them. And I'll show you how this is done. But first, of course, you need to get to those hammers. And for that, we need to disassemble the piano. And I'll show you how this is done. So first, we remove the lid of the keyboard. Just pull it up. Then we can remove this lid. And you do that by just pulling it up. Now we have these blocks here, and underneath there are screws. That we can unscrew. And then we can remove those. Do the same here. Okay, so next up we pull out the keyboard. Just until we see the hammers. So these are the hammers, and we are going to voice them. So what you can do is buy a plank that you put behind these hammers so that you have some support to prick it. And you also need to buy a voicing tool, which is basically a hammer with a needle in it, like this. You can also just use a needle, and then you can start pricking the hammer. So make sure that you prick always behind the midpoint of this hammer, the apex, because you start with the soft side of the notes. So if you play softly, it typically hits just behind the midpoint. So you can start there, and then you work up until the midpoint, which is where the notes will hit when you push it very hard. Then it will hit in the midpoint. So if you want to soften up the notes, then you need to voice the mid part of this hammer. Just use a needle and prick it a bit here in the mid, but start somewhere here first. And just do a little bit, not too much, and then try it out. Try out the note and see if it has softened up. If it hasn't, then you can just keep on doing it, keep on pricking the hammer until you get the sound that you want. Now, very important is do not prick it too much, typically less than a quarter of a centimeter. Do not do more than that, otherwise you would damage the more denser part of this hammer, and you do not want to do that. Also, do not prick in this area here, because that would be very bad for the hammer. Okay, so you know how to do this. I wish you good luck, and thank you for watching.